got me running, you got me running, got me running. Shake it, shake it, shake it, feel that. Raise your hands up, raise them up.
Hello and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Forex Trading Asia Daily Currency Call. This is episode 336. It's the 19th of July, 11 a.m. here in Singapore, GMT +8. Okay, so if it's your first time here, a big welcome. We do this currency call every Monday to Friday, and the currency we analyze is as follows. So on Monday, Aussie and Kiwi, which is today. Tuesday, Euro, Wednesday, Pound, Thursday, Yen and Gold, and Friday, the Canadian dollar and cryptocurrencies. All right, so this currency call, you will get market economic updates, key support resistance levels, trade ideas, and more. This currency call is going to be very beneficial to both the long-term investors and short-term traders. Here, we will be going through what could move prices, possible trade ideas, and also highlighting potential targets and risk. So a disclaimer here, any information shared during this session is not intended to be a trade recommendation. It is solely the opinion and views of the speakers. So please remember to do your own analysis prior to entering any trades. Okay, so quite a bit of economic events happening over the weekend on Friday. So specifically the BOJ monetary policy meeting that happened on last Friday. OPEC Plus meeting happened over the weekend. And coming up tomorrow, we have the RBA minutes. So we have Kim Hong here, currency analyst at LCMS Traders, to share more about those events. Kim Hong.
Okay, thank you, Junwei. Happy Monday, everyone. Yep. So the Bank of Japan, they met last Friday, okay, for the monetary policy meeting. I couldn't get it in time because I think they kind of like clash with our currency call. So, okay, so this is an update from what took place last Friday, okay? So as expected, they held interest rate unchanged at negative 0.1%, okay? The QE for the BOJ remains unchanged. Now, what actually changed, okay, is the economic projection, okay, from the report, all right? Well, actually, there's only a little bit of change that's taken place, okay? So basically, the key point is, let me look at it. Where is it? Okay, so they have actually revised their GDP, okay, economic growth for 2021 downwards, okay? So over here, where is it? The projected growth rate for 2021 is somewhat lower, okay? As expected, it's due to the COVID-19 impact, right? So as I've mentioned previously, the number of cases in Japan has unfortunately started to rise again in end of June, the last week of June, due to the Delta variant, and also because of the sluggish COVID vaccination programs that's ongoing at the moment, okay? However, they actually revised their growth forecast for 2022 higher, okay? Inflation-wise, okay, they actually revised it higher in 2021 this year because, as we all know, there's a spike in oil prices, right? Energy prices due to the recent OPEC, uncertainty caused by the OPEC Plus meeting, okay, which I will cover it more in details later on, all right? So, yep, if we look at the table, we actually have a clearer view of the forecast, okay? So, for 2021, okay, the previous forecast back in April was 3.6 to 4.4. Right now, it has been revised to 3.5 to 4%, okay, which is pretty much, I would say, a slight revised downwards, okay. Then for 2022, there's an upwards revision, 2.1 to 2.5, okay, revised to 2.6 to 2.9, okay. Then inflation-wise, it has been revised upwards as well, okay. Now, that's pretty much the impact. That's pretty much the change, okay, in this BOJ meeting. As we all know that, with the ongoing COVID crisis issue in Japan, it's highly unlikely that they are going to cut QE. They're going to, send an optimistic tone across in their statement and things like that. Okay. Now, in addition, okay, yesterday, there was, I think, 2 athletes, okay, in the Olympic Village. As you guys know that the Summer Olympics for 2020 will still proceed. They will still proceed with the 2020 Summer Olympics this time around, okay, in 2021. So yesterday it was reported that 2 athletes were actually tested positive for COVID in the Olympic Village. Okay, so with all this whole troubling COVID issue going on, the Bank of Japan is highly unlikely going to do any tapering, like the other central banks have done for the time being, okay? And their next meeting will be held on 22nd of September. So we will see how things go from here, okay? Especially the uncertainty caused by the Delta variant of COVID, all right? So that's all I have for the Bank of Japan, okay? Moving on to the next item, we have the OPEC Plus, okay? Now, it's actually more interesting for the OPEC Plus. So last Saturday, okay, they actually announced that, they're going to resume the talk on Sunday, okay? So on Sunday, they actually came to an agreement, okay, that from August onwards, all right, for the month of August onwards, they are going to increase oil production on a monthly basis by 400,000 barrels per day, okay? That's the first agreement. That's the first item on the agreement. Okay, the second item is that other than settling for the quota for August, okay, they are actually also planning for the longer term cut. Specifically, when will they be bringing back all the oil production cut that they have carried out from last March or April, right? Since the COVID-19 was declared as a pandemic, okay? So regarding that, they actually agreed to phase out the current 5.8 million barrels per day of oil production cut by September 2022, okay, September next year. So a quick calculation, all right, starting from August till next September, a monthly a monthly increase of oil production by 400,000 barrels per day, okay, will bring us to around like 5.6 million barrels per day kind of increase, okay? So there's a 200,000 barrels per day short kind of quota, but I believe they will actually, do a bit of, adding and subtracting here to make things work, okay? So yeah, it actually all tallies to next September, all right? Now, so previously, the whole issue behind this is because of the UAE wanting their production baseline to be increased, okay? But the Saudi Arabia, the leader of the whole OPEC, they were not what do you call it? They are not actually good with it. They are not fine with it because it may bring the other members in as well, and other members will actually want their production baseline to be increased as well. Okay, so what happened in the end was that pretty much expected. Okay, it's not only the UAE that has their production baseline increase. Okay, many other countries as well. So there are actually a total of 5 countries that actually have their production baseline increased. Okay, so first of all, it's definitely UAE. Okay, then the Saudi Arabia as well. Okay, the leader of OPEC, Iraq, Kuwait, and the leader of the OPEC Plus, Russia. Okay, so not going to go into details of the other countries of production hike and things like production quota, baseline increase and things like that. But basically, the UAE's baseline, okay, has been increased from the previous 3.16 million barrels per day to 3.5 million barrels per day. Now, previously, the UAE were actually trying to negotiate for a 3.8 million barrels per day. So as you can see, there's a compromise between the UAE and the Saudi, and they eventually, work out well, and things goes on. The meeting resume, and they come up to, and it ends with an agreement that is unanimous among the OPEC Plus members. Okay, so that's a good thing. Now, what impact it actually has on the market is, oil prices there will be a downward pressure acting on the oil prices. Why is that the case? Because remember that prior to the meeting supposedly to be held early this month, okay, the market was actually expecting a 500,000 barrels per day increase, okay, starting from August. However, based on the agreement that I mentioned, we are only getting 400,000. So this is actually a slight, I would say, short of the market's expectation. Now, what this does is it will actually have a downward impact, a downward pressure on oil prices, because so they are actually, so you see, a 400,000 increase in supply, okay, which is falling short of what the market was expecting, will actually lead to because, okay, based on the whole economics supply and demand theory, okay, an increase in supply will actually lead to a decline in an increase in supply will lead to a decline in prices, right? So with this 400,000 increase in oil, it is understandable that prices, there will be a downward pressure acting on prices. Okay. Now, another thing is that previously, because market was actually expecting that no agreement may be made. Okay, thus leading to an unchanged in the production quota. Okay, for August and so on. Okay, so there was actually there are actually rumors that says that prices may hit to $100 per barrel. Okay, but all this uncertainty, okay, caused by the conflict between the members, were actually resolved, and then with the returning of the certainty of prices, with the returning of the certainty of agreement, prices has sort of like I would say become more what's the term? It's not sustainable. It's more like I would say more balanced, okay, rather than the whole volatility that we have been seeing for the past few weeks. Yeah, so right now, with the whole downward pressure acting on prices, oil prices, we may be seeing a slight weakening in the Canadian dollar, okay, because there's a direct correlation between the Canadian dollar and oil prices, okay. So which, if you guys were to look at the chart, I don't have it right now, okay, for dollar CAD, you might be seeing a increase in a strengthening in dollar CAD, and as well as a weakening in the Canadian yen. Okay, this is probably due to the meeting decision that has been taken place yesterday. Okay, so I believe the next meeting will be next month. Okay, I think I don't have the update of the next meeting date right now, but any more changes I will update you guys. But from now on, yeah, we'll be seeing a more, I would say, yeah, nice moving in, less volatility in oil prices from now. Okay, now moving on to the RBA minutes. Okay, personally, I don't think there'll be much movement that will be caused by the RBA minutes tomorrow. Okay, because so previously the RBA actually extended QE. Okay, from September, because the current QE program will be ending in early September. Okay, so we're actually looking at what's the plan post September. So they have decided to increase QE by 2 months, okay, from early September, at a tapered rate of 4 billion Australian dollar per week. Okay, previously it was $5 billion per week. So there's a slight tapering in it. Okay, so the minutes that will be released tomorrow may actually shed some light on whether on why this move was made. Now remember that previously there were actually I think 4 options for the central bank, 4 possible options for the central bank to take. Okay, so why this whole in lengthening what do you call that, extension of QE by 2 months and a reduced pace? We may be actually getting more details on that tomorrow in the minutes. Okay, so other than that, I don't think there's going to be much surprises coming out from the RBA. Okay, so yeah, it's just going to be more explanation of why they carry their actions. Okay, so I'll update you guys again tomorrow if there's any major things and major happening and things like that. Okay, now last week there's actually been quite a lot of news going on and things like that. Okay, if you guys haven't been want a summary of what goes on and things like that, yeah, you can actually check out this weekly market update post. Okay, so like last week there's like the RBNZ monetary policy meeting, there's a BOC, then there's a BOJ, and then there's the Powell's what do you call that, testimony and things like that. So just head over to the Forex Trading Asia website and then check out this post. I'll be pasting the link right now. Okay, so with that, I'll hand it back to Jinwei, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Kim Hong, for giving a quick roundup about last week and get us prepared this week. All right, so now let's hit to the charts with Scott Andrews here for the dollar index. Scott Andrews here from Forex Briefcase Australia. Scott.
All right, hi guys, and thank you, Kim Hong, as well for your in-depth analysis. Let's go straight to the US dollar chart here, guys, with Sam Trade. And what I am noticing is that we're back here again, and what I'm referring to is that 92.70 level, and I think the 4-hour time frame sums it up pretty nicely. So as you can see, it's just a classic range that it's been holding. We've got the bottom down at the low 92 level, and we have seen 92.80 and a little higher tested and rejected, and now we're approaching that again. So what that means, and from my perspective, with the lack of news out today on the US dollar, there's no real catalyst to sort of move it either way. So from a technical perspective, what I'd like to see is in this Asian session, if we can just drift up a little bit higher to around where we've been before, to the higher to mid 92.70 level. I'd like really to get closer to 92.80, and then from 92.80 I sell at 92.70 back down to, really we've seen a little bit of support even down at the 30s. So with a 20 pips stop at 92.90 and entry at 92.70, there's potentially a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. But really what we've seen in the ECOFIN group and the like is that the US dollar is significantly just holding up very resiliently to a lot of the pairs. So for the US dollar, I mean, that's a trade, but be very cautious. Once it moves around 20 pips in your favor, I'd be looking to get out of it. Now, just briefly as well, Friday night we did see a bit of a mixed bag with, we had the retail sales and they did beat significantly. We saw earlier evening buying, and then we had the consumer sentiment down a little bit as well. So it was a little bit interesting, and it was Friday, so you've got end of week profit taking as well. So it's a fresh week. There looks to be some real potential with the other pairs, and Jin discussing the Aussie dollar coming up. We've got the RBA. I was scrolling through, and I've got some commentators that I follow, and it's going to be interesting to see what the RBA do. They have said no negative rates. I'm heavily hedged long the US dollar right now as well, with some positions that I have in the US stock market, my Forex briefcase position as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But those are my thoughts on the US dollar trade idea. And that's it from me, guys.
Thanks, Scott. Right, so today's Monday. We have the currency in focus, which is Aussie and Kiwi. So I'm going to get Jin here, Jin Gao Tai, founder of LCMS Traders, and a multi-million-dollar trader trading an account with more than $15 million on a daily basis. All right, Jin, pass it to you for the Aussie and Kiwi.
All right, thanks for that, Jinwei. So we've seen, Kim Hong has gone through all the detail about the news that is coming up and what could be happening. But just to show you here on the charts, this is the Aussie dollar on the H4 time frame. Right now, the Aussie dollar is sitting at 7378. So first thing I want to highlight is that it has broken that 7.4 level, and that's a crucial level. It's broken that support right now. So looking at what could happen below this 7.4 support level, one key thing is that Kim Hong did highlight out, here looking at the news on forextradingasia.com, looking at the economic calendar, you can see that we only have the Reserve Bank of Australia's meeting minutes to be released tomorrow morning, and not a lot of changes expected. I mean, they didn't do that much, so the meeting minutes is probably not going to change or affect prices too much at this point. And if I just quickly scroll through, you'll see that there's not a lot of other news apart from the global dairy trade for New Zealand. Retail sales number Wednesday looking like it's going to go from a 0.4 to a minus 0.5. So looking possibly some downside on the Aussie dollar here on Wednesday. I don't think this quarterly business confidence is going to do too much. Policy statement is going to be released. That's the one Gibbon was talking about. A bit curious why it's showing 1945. So we'll pay a bit of attention to that. And then it's all back to the Aussie focus, right? To the Euro focus. You know, we've got a lot of Euro news for the rest of the week and pound news, PMI numbers for the rest of the week. So I think this week, looking at the Aussie dollar with not a lot of news to be released, only a couple here and there, what I would say is that looking at the charts, we are looking at more of a technical play rather than the fundamental driver. Okay, more technical rather than fundamental. What I would say is that with this downside, if I zoomed it out a bit, you can see that since May, it's been sitting in consolidation, had a drop, sitting in consolidation, looking at a drop now again. If I went into daily time frame here, it's very small. I know you're squinting a bit, but just looking at it, since December this year, hasn't been able to break significantly higher, sitting in consolidation and now retracing back down below that 7.4 level. And you can see this 7.4 level, the last time it hit this point was back in August last year, and when it broke through was in November last year. So it broke through that point. Right now it's back to that same level again. So with this, what I actually think could be a relatively straightforward trade. For those of you who don't like to manage your trades too much, those of you who are able to take a little bit more risk with that lack of a news, right? We've got some meeting minutes, we've got some policy statements coming out, we've got the retail sales number to be released. What I think could be a good trade here is at this 7376 level. You could be looking for it to go down towards 7185. That's a very big 180 pip move downwards. 180 pip move downwards. You could have a very safe stop loss at about 90 pips. You're still a 1:2 risk reward ratio towards the downside. 90 pip stop loss, 180 pip take profit towards the downside. You can, if you're familiar, you've been logging in and watching me talk about this for the past year or year and a half already, you notice that I don't normally suggest a 90 pip stop loss because that's a very big stop loss, a big trade, a long-term trade. So for those who might want that downside, but want to keep it a little bit tighter, I would say put your stop loss above 7.4, So you're looking at about a 40 pip stop loss for a 180 pip take profit level, almost a 1:5 risk reward ratio towards the downside on the Aussie dollar. But pay attention, this is not a trade that is going to happen quickly. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think 180 pips is going to drop within the next couple of days or within the week. I think this would be a bit of a slightly longer term trade or medium term trade. I think we're going to see a bit of volatility at this point before that strength towards the downside, before that drop towards the downside. That's also one of the reasons why I think a 90 pip stop loss is safer than that 40 pips, because that 40 pips you could be stopped out before it drops further. So if you're taking this trade 90 to 180, size down, manage your risk, size down, be able to sustain that 90 pips in the worst case that it does hit. But I'm looking at the downside towards the 7185 support level. So that's the Aussie dollar on the H4 time frame. Before I go into the Kiwi dollar, I'll go to the CAD, which we spoke about last week on Friday. So on Friday, we said the CAD was going to come down, test that 1.255 level, and it did that on an immediate candle, test that 1.255 level before bouncing up, possibly towards or hitting that 1.2688 resistance level. So I'm quite happy. Why I want to come back to this, super happy with the analysis, testing that support level to trace up towards 1.2688. I hope you guys had jumped into that trade at that point. So coming back to the currencies today, New Zealand dollar on the H4 time frame again, as we spoke about this last week, saying that it was going to come down to test this 6928 level because of what happened the week before. It hit here and it bounced off. So I'm looking at the same point, 6928. It hit 6928, didn't like it, and bounced straight up towards 7013. That was analysis last week. This week, I think we're going to see the same thing. We're probably going to see the same thing with that correlation on the Aussie dollar towards the downside. I think we're going to see New Zealand dollar drop towards that 6928 level or 6922 level again, that support level, before we could see any further downside. But I think that we're going to see a little bit of a retracement first before that downward move. Okay, a little bit of a retracement before that downward move, rejecting that 7013 resistance. So what I would say here is look to sell below 700.7, below 0.7, so about 6994. I have it there, a 30 pip stop loss for a good 60-70 pip take profit level. You're looking at a 1:2 risk reward ratio towards the downside, towards 6908. So with all that, what you're looking at is Aussie dollar massive downside potential because it has broken 7.4. Be careful with that. It's a very good move, but be careful with that. And New Zealand dollar slightly more controlled towards the downside, towards the 6.9 level with about a 70 pip take profit and a 30 pip stop loss.
All right, Jean, I think we have a question there. New RBNZ rate hike speculation will impact the NZD movement?
That's a good question. So there has been rumors that because of the recent inflation data being released, that speculation is that the RBNZ is likely to increase rates in August. They're looking to increase, the speculation is that they might increase rates in August. I think that with that possibility, I think we still will probably see it come down towards 6.9. And if they do increase rates, this would be a fantastic launch pad for the Kiwi dollar to head towards the upside. At this point, I think we're still in a technical play, rejecting 7.0 towards 6.9.
Okay, thanks for that, Jean, and thanks for the questions. We need more questions in order to dig deeper into the brains of these experts here. So do drop more questions here. And if, in this short time you can't think of any questions, we have the Traders Club, the LCMS Traders Club, right? That's an ongoing support, weekly webinars, widgets, chat, supportive chat channel, and where you can ask all your questions. So with that, I'm going to pass the time now to Daniel with the introduction to LCMS Traders Club.
Hey, thanks, Jinwei. Yes, indeed. For those really who've been down here, who are trading Forex right now, this is really the place to be. Now, let me tell you about those already, share with you what all those benefits already, those are club members already, right? So really, this is a dedicated club platform for anyone who is serious about being profitable in trading. We host a community of traders here, sharing strategies, ideas, analysis, monitoring markets together. It's really almost like a professional team here. So you could see here, on the trading floor, we actually just last week, a lot of questions from the members, what's happening, even my one of favorite members were like, they see some movements, they already highlight here, and there were lots of discussions as well. For example, the pound was moving up, exceeded up, and then we will also talk about a lot of the retail sales, US retail sales coming in. We have Scott coming in, letting us know about what he's doing, what he thinks right now about US index, and many, many more coming here, looking in this place here, right? So it is fantastic. And then, just to prepare for your day in trading, what we have here is on the market watch here. We will provide a lot of analysis coming in to know what's happening, right? So we have the currency correlation, where we can see on Sunday, we see which currency is correlated to which currency pairs. I mean, you heard Jean was talking about Aussie USD is very quite closely correlated with the New Zealand USD. And this is something that, we could use this as part of strategy. Now, we also, when the week update has happened, Kim Hong has already shown you that we actually do a weekly market update of what happened last week. You can recap easily. We do the homework already for you. Okay, now we have also the daily currency analysis, which gives a summary of what happened yesterday and what to look out for this week or today right now, with a suggested ideas of what the current trade opportunities that could be. And we usually review most of the major pairs coming in, like New Zealand USD, Aussie USD, US yen, Euro yen, and many more. And then another one we actually help to prepare every morning is the currency watch list. Now, this currency watch list is a snapshot of what we see in the morning, what we understand is happening, what snapshot happening last week or the day before. It gives you a suggested idea of what we'll be looking for, what we're preparing. We see what currency pairs we're doing in, what actions sell or buy, and then what kind of entry levels we are looking price to looking for entry, and then what potential profits to be looking at. So this is really something fantastic in the club membership that we all use every day in the club. Now, not only that, we have many educational videos here, where lots of, wrong one. Here, this is the education Q&A, where anybody asking about any questions about education, about technical analysis, we can ask it in this platform here. We have the education videos here coming in. You can see lots of things we have. We have the 4-day FX Kickstarter. Those who have joined the membership can have the free 4-day course where we teach you about how to read the economics of the FX market, look at technical analysis, and combine the strategy together on how we trade in LCMS. And also many, many more like Fibonacci, chart patterns, trend series, divergence, and many more videos for you to learn. And any questions you have, we just don't leave you here. You can go to the trading floor and ask questions to us. Now, not only that, everything here is all moderated by the coaches in LCMS Traders Club. We also have live trading sessions, right? And also group coaching sessions as well. So we can see here, every time on Monday, and on Monday we have a group coaching sessions where we come together, look at what's happening in the market preparations, more discussions for questions dedicated just for members alone. We look at the details, and also we have live trading sessions on Wednesday where we just last week we were looking at the Bank of Canada raise and tapering news releases and how we can trade together the news, or if there's no news, what kind of technical analysis we can do to take a trade in and out for that 1 hour or for that day. Right now, all these sessions is really to guide you through the current market conditions, how to make profits together in this club. Now, this club membership, it is worth thousands, but if you have a chance to join right now at only $49 a month. Now, all you do is go to tradersclub.lcms.com.sg, coming in, You can see there's many more things that we got. Lots of members are very happy with. I can see here, I'm very happy with the club coming in, enjoying, and also profiting together. You got to do is click on this button, $49 a month coming in. It is a monthly subscription. Okay, so you can continue on every month with us. You just fill in the names and then just click submit, and I'll see you here in the club, profiting together.
Okay, yeah, Daniel. So I understand that on Monday you guys also have the coaching, right? Monday,
Yes.
Wednesdays, weekly coaching. So
Yeah,
today is
right.
Monday. Can you just share a little bit to the audience what are you going to talk about tonight?
Oh, okay. So tonight, what we usually do on Mondays is we will look at what's happening last week, which actually Kim Hong has already at the LCMS Traders Club here. We have already a summarized thing to you, but I actually will go through and get to what's the details coming in. But most importantly, we're looking for the whole week itself, just for club members alone. We will look for a whole week itself, what to prepare, what kind of trades to be preparation, what kind of trade ideas we could have, and then answer all the questions that our members have. A lot of times our members ask, looking at this, hey, should I be taking this trade? Should I be preparing this way, so and so forth, based on fundamentals, or any questions that we have? And usually there are a lot of questions people asking, and then the coaches will give a detailed explanations until you are satisfied. So that's what we're going to do today on Monday evening. So join us. Those who are already members here, do join us at 8 p.m. today. We'll catch you there. The link will be posted up in the club as well every Monday. For those who have not joined and wants to join us on the Monday sessions and Wednesday sessions, do sign up on LCMS traders here, club.com.sg, and I'll see you tonight.
All right. Thank you so much, Daniel. Yeah. So I pasted the links. If you guys want to join the Traders Club and enjoy the benefits, click on the link and sign up. Okay, we have come to the end of the session today. We will see you guys tomorrow for the Euro currency call. Thank you and goodbye.